Good evening, Scott here, known as Cantaloupe to some online, and I'm bringing another video to you on a subject that's interesting to me. It might be of interest to you or someone you know, and I want to share a revelation I've had about Miss Taylor Swift. I don't often talk about people in my videos, it's more about ideas and concepts in general, but sometimes I get these specific ideas about a person that may be on point, and I want to share one about Taylor Swift really quickly. I have, been a fan for a long time. Not a hardcore Swiftie, but I do enjoy her hits, her bigger hits from, especially earlier on in her career. I can't say that I've heard all of her music or followed it recently, but I understand a little bit about her philosophy. I think she does have a philosophy. I want to share a few things from how I see them about Miss Taylor Swift because they're not commonly known and they might be relevant to a lot of people. How are they relevant? How is Taylor Swift influential to a lot of people, you might ask? Well, besides the obvious, having songs on the radio and exposure and a catalog of great music, she has a constituency of young ladies who are under her wing, so to speak. And I'm starting to see how it works a little bit, and I want to share this. She trains people. She empowers young women as she sees empowerment, as she views it. And you can, if you're familiar with the material of her songs, the lyrics and the spirit of them, there isn't actually a lot of affection towards men. There's a lot of kind of hardline, cutthroat adversarialism when you really think about it. If you've listened to her music, there's a lot of bitterness, there's a lot of heartache, and I'm a little concerned at this point that there's almost no love whatsoever. She's perhaps taking her time and her opportunity with her, being a billionaire and having this large constituency to train young women to be not just independent, not just strong, but cruel, and to demand that things go their way on their terms every step of the way. They seem to want to open with the idea that they're going to be mistreated if they are vulnerable. They're going to, try to miscommunicate. They're going to try to omit things. They're going to try to lean into being promiscuous as a weapon. They're going to try to lean into an expectation of total subservience and commitment by any prospective man before, during, and after the commitment. They're going to, use all of the tactics and psychology of a bitter billionaire woman who never got what she wanted, and they're going to be told every step of the way in a very large classroom, if you will, how dangerous men are, and if you do not screw them over, they will screw you over. So this is kind of the spirit that I'm keying into from the Swifties that I see. I do see some videos of Swifties who are, openly Swiftie, or you can just kind of tell the exact same rhetoric is going through their heads, and it's unfortunate. I'll get to the point. I think that there's something missing from Taylor Swift's life and her videos and her lyrics, and that is it's a positivity. I hear a lot of substance, or excuse me, the subject of being successful, being safe, being powerful as a woman, and I can get behind these ideas until they trespass into the area of creating a self-fulfilling prophecy in a negative way. So there's something that can be gained from remembering that not all men are the same. I don't have a lot of detailed information about Taylor Swift's personal love life or history with men, but if you've, again, listened to her music, you can surmise that it's not a happy story. It's not. It sounds like a woman who's been jilted and betrayed, and I don't believe any female mogul or any mogul could become one by being, kind to everybody and nice all the time and fair all the time. And I really think that the deal breaker for me is that she's teaching young women to be unfair, to fight dirty, to hit below the belt and to open with mistrust, to open with an absence of vulnerability and hard knuckle. You don't have to understand me. You don't have to even like me. Good luck finding someone else. It's sad. It's sad because there is many times there is something that Taylor Swift is probably misinterpreting as being cruel from the man's side. And I'm really digging in here. I'm reading way into it, but I don't think I'm wrong. She misinterprets, perhaps a man who is busy and distracted and confused, perhaps about the level of interest or the expectations when, for example, when a new relationship is starting to form, and he may not be aware of what is called for in terms of communication or how to communicate. So the expectation becomes that if if a female is suffering, if her heart is breaking because of whatever, she's not getting the response she wants, Taylor Swift swoops in and says, look how much of a bastard he is. He's making you hurt. Now listen to me. I'll show you how to handle this situation. You treat him as a resource. You treat him as an economic and a human resource. You can get things done, but you start by postponing. You're going to miscommunicate on purpose. You're going to be promiscuous. You're going to really lean into that. You're going to use it as a weapon. You're going to hurt him preemptively. And watch how fast he comes crawling back. Watch how his interest does a 180 all of a sudden. And the sad part is, many times it's true. I think many times, men, especially young men, don't have the same guidance. They don't have the same economic backing and, solidarity. And I guess that's not really her responsibility, but if she's leveraging her power and her economics position to teach an entire generation of young ladies to be mean, unfair, loveless, shrews. And I hate to say it at this point, I think that that's what it is. I think that she's teaching these women to be bitter, with the expectation of failure, with the expectation that they are just going to be abused and, raped and mistreated. And yes, that does happen occasionally, but not every time. She says that, love, whatever, love doesn't live here. And it's part of this, powerful pop female psychology that's been around since Madonna. Love doesn't live here. This is literally a quote from Madonna, who is just a hop, skip, and a jump down the road from Taylor Swift. Love doesn't live here. And the man's holding her back, right? So she wrote a song about it. Okay, I'm not making this up. She wrote a song about how the man's holding her back, how men get unfair advantages and opportunities. And I'm sorry, Miss Swift, but you are a billionaire at this point. You have given up your right to complain about that. And if you're going to stand on $1 billion and tell, like I said, the whole world of young ladies that the man's holding her back before she even meets the guy, and that she needs to postpone every single date and never communicate and just be, as mean as possible, I tell you what, you've taken the fun out of it. Whatever else can be said, it's not fun anymore. Maybe that was your goal all along. Maybe you want it to just be a piece of shit. You want love to just to be about safety. You want love to be about drawing blood, because that's what it's turned into. It's turned into a war. You want it to be a war, and you're going to start by hurting people. Okay, well, good luck with that. I mean, these ladies are going to learn one thing from you in conclusion, just before 10 minutes. These ladies are going to learn how to be bitter, lonely, and perhaps have, a big house on their own, and they can invite a warm body over. How you view men, right? You're teaching these ladies to be like how you see all men. That's some really sad stuff right there, because there's another whole world out there that you unfortunately missed out on. The world of genuine kindness and loving, treatment of women. And I'm sure you've seen that too, which is probably the source of your bitterness. You've seen the thing that you missed out on, and that you feel you can't even get anymore because of your position. So you're gonna, make sure that every girl becomes you. They're going to become you they're going to be mini yous, mini me's, right? By degrees. You're just going to ruin everything. Well, I don't think I'm a Swiftie anymore if you're picking up on some bitterness. Yeah, I think that there's a whole generation of young women who are just kicking all the dudes in the balls right now, figuratively. And there's no fun or love in it because I guess Taylor Swift got a raw deal in romance. And I'm speaking from her lyrics, her own lyrics. It is what it is, I guess. And I guess my final point: think for yourself. If you want to, just make money, it's not that hard. Money's not hard. And if you're just looking for, some, pack mule to enslave and, use other people's financial backing to, just really just put them over a barrel, and that's not love either. And it starts out it starts out much better. It starts out with feelings of sensitivity. It starts out with feelings of compassion and interest, and then she teaches you how to be really rude about it. She teaches you how to take the fun out of it and to regard it as a brawl, because that's what it was for her. That's not what it has to be, and that's not what it's supposed to be. There's something way better than that. So don't let her destroy something beautiful. Don't let Taylor Swift teach you how to be a bitch, because it's not always worth it. That's not the only option. Reach out with questions or comments down below. Thank you.